Hello and welcome to Clotho's bonus episode part. Basically, there will be a lot of text and background, I think background story about Clotho. You know, like this extra stage with Anomaly. And also after that stage, we'll also be doing her stuff, her actual story files, doll profiles. And yeah, let's start. Blood, formerly flowing now, lies dried. Corpses litter their wilderness like grass, not a soul to care after them. Engulfed by their freezing rain, chilling wind, blowing dust. Excuse me, the young miss in black over there, but what are you trying to say? People have always said that in death all things are equal. But in truth, many of the deceased have nary a right to a resting place. Hence came their four horsemen, and in their wake was ruination and lament. The soldiers and volunteers laid their corpses in the plaza together, covering them with white shrouds and leaving markers. A complex, unspeakable emotions began to emerge, fatigue and exhaustion accompanied by the fear born of witnesses, cadavers. The weeping of the survivor reached my ears once again. Even thinking about such a scene must have been hard to bear. She draws their spins the thread. Their measure, name of Lashesi, the spinner, name of Clotho. She draws the spins the thread. Their measure, named of Lashesis, measures that thread's length. Their cutter, named as Propos, determines when the thread shall reach finality. Who could have thought that those people who died in that disaster would be sent on their final journey by a bunch of dolls? Are Mortician dolls not in common sign? Dolls. Perhaps now, but not in the past. Several Universal Anything Service dolls who has undergone emergency modification were hurriedly changed into burial cloth and stood in the plaza reciting eulogies. A proper funeral is the greatest form of respect for the deceased. By the way, her and her sisters are named upon some earth goddess. So if you want, look into it a little bit. In all things, decay is inevitable. It has been roughly half a year since that terrible disaster. Those hastily modified dolls became members of a volunteer team and carried out special duties. In truth, it wasn't all that special. After all, it was something every human has to experience. Death. They worked together to send the death on their way. They were as close as sisters. However, that fate would eventually befall dolls as well. Bodies of steel would not exempt them from that which cannot be denied. So they are not around anymore. And here we can actually see their ultimate. That's what I also wanna show. A little bit of the doll has her coffin hell. And her voice are very unexpected to me. I imagine her a little bit calmer, but we will see it in the doll profile section. that she sounds very different that you and I may imagine.
さすがは俺
She's very energetic for a Mortician
さすが
doll.
はお前だ
I must say. I'm not sure if that's the right thing, but nevertheless. A cotton wet is wrapped around their shuttle, and from it we pull forth a clean, white thread. Behold, that is life. So they still live, or rather, they who dance with death have been given new life. The volunteers purchase 3 new bodies from Universal Anything Service so that they could appear in a new form. And so, those who represent death were now reborn. Pretty deep if you ask me. Let us sow the seeds of fairness among the people of the land. Not all families could afford funeral companies or clergymen, but this did not hinder them, or rather, they could still send off their kind in an appropriate way. That was the work of those dolls you mentioned earlier. They did not have proper names before they switched their bodies, but eventually they gained elegant and mellifluous monikers. Let me guess. Clotho, Oasis, and Apropos. Yep, they're names from goddess. So from Wikipedia article, it's a mythological figure, is the younger goddess of the 3 fates. In antique Greek mythology, she spins the threads of human life, her sister draws out and cut the threads. Basically what we read earlier. Life and death are ultimate question which cannot be avoided. Witnessing final departure for so many years, even a heart of stone will eventually be moved. And what of dolls with emotion system? After being exposed to sorrow for so long, this vast excess of negative emotions would lead their other emotions module to stop functioning altogether. Were they changed too? All of them, except for her. The spinner who drove 4 threads from the loom, looking at it through a lens of a human emotion and ethics. She was the youngest of them, but she did not collapse like her elder sisters. But perhaps it would be more appropriate to call it an elaborate disguise. For a doll of Universal Anything Service, emotions to evolve at such an extreme. Maybe the changes in her were the most significant. Emotions are as elusive as the eternal, nameless chaos. The sisters were gone. She had never been so lonely or vulnerable before, especially when she learned the destiny decreed for her sisters, who has collapsed under the weight of their sorrow. Were they destroyed? A neurocloud that suffers failure needs to be reset, and the irony of it all, as their bodies receive new life, their souls would not be erased and recomposed. Perhaps she knew that even if her sister returned, they would not be the people she knew from her memories. Indeed. My story is done. Is there anything else you would like to hear? Perhaps what I have heard is complicated and lengthy enough, Clotho? Yes, I did not wish to experience those painful events again, and so I descended upon this realm. I seek that secret elixir, capable of healing one's sorrow in this fathomless ocean of digits, so that I may exist with them, eventually bound to the past. Product code Mortician-3. Body code. Oh, we get full info by the way. SSD 56SE2. Product number serial Moirai 23224. Project activation date 2056. Basically new year. Product or the end of the year. Product name Clotho. Neural activation percentage unknown. Mortician-3. Call name Clotho. Verification complete. Alright, sign here please.
さすがはお前だ。
I'm still not over this voice. And yeah, I think the next step will be a profile. And here we are. The Mortician-3 is a universal anything service doll for funerary service. Its primary function is to organize burials and to inter the deceased. In response to the multitude of requirements of the funeral industry, the Mortician-3 is equipped with an advanced database of religious and cultural practices in order to suit the burial needs of the various deceased. Due to the special nature of their work, the Mortician-3 emotional modules are specially optimized for the empathetic process of complex human emotions data. In addition, the Mortician-3 is furnished with an adjust coffin-shaped mechanism classes to facilitate interment work. Clotho was the prototype unit of the Mortician-3 series. Due to operational accidents during the operation of Clotho and her two Mortician doll colleagues, Project Moirai was suspended. Several months later, at the recommendation of their ex-supervisor of Project Moirai, Clotho and her auxiliary NeuroCloud Hell passed their screening examination and joined Project NeuroCloud. That's what we found out in what Professor told us, that he actually got a recommendation for Clotho. Clotho was not so much a doll that was developed by Universal Anything Service as one who was chosen by them. During a sudden catastrophe, 3 service dolls that were rescued from the rubble volunteered to join the funeral procession and participated in the entire burial process for the deceased, whose bodies has been recovered. The massive scope of the disaster mean that pictures and videos of the incident spread widely throughout the net, and the sign of 3 service dolls bowing and offering flowers to the deceased was a comforting sign for people who were otherwise lost in grief. As a result, there was no denying public opinion about the matter. Once Universal Anything Service Recovery Department learned about this, they soon sensed a business opportunity. They established a project to perform a comprehensive remodeling of the 3 dolls, calling them the Moirai, or the goddess of fate, namely Atropos, Lachesis, and Clotho. I'm so glad that Clotho got the easiest name. Atropos was designed to interact with the kin of the deceased and to handle funeral arrangements. Lachesis would handle deathbed care and lead the body into the casket. Finally, Clotho would conduct the funeral itself and take care of the interment process. After the comprehensive fine-tuning and remodeling, the 3 dolls began work as prototypes for Project Moirai. Beyond Universal Anything Service, speedy logistics, high-performance bodies, and their comprehensive etiquette modules, their most crucial elements were their doubly enhanced emotion programs. All of them combined to elevate the trio's performance to outstanding level. The sorrow they felt for the deceased was so realistic that it even managed to solve the pain of the grieving people. As their research acted in their triumph, they forgot one thing. The sincere emotions expressed by the doll came from the all too real suffering that they felt. In the final adjustments phase before mass production, the researchers decided to simulate various situations and encounter in their trio neural clouds in order to further optimize their sequential emotion program. That was when it happened. During a function test, the other two sisters lost themselves in their simulated emotions and could not free themselves. They could not see or hear anything but weeping and wailing, resulting in them using physical means to forcibly shut down their authority and visual systems. Clotho was watching all this from the sidelines, and the tremendous impact of this caused her neural cloud to crash. And now we go to the voice. It's Ari Ozawa.
死者の真空は不朽と虚無へと帰るが、その意志は依然として世をさまよっている。しかして、その意志もやがては無に帰すのだろうか。
That's much more like it than on the battlefield. The bodies of the dead will ultimately rot and decay into nothing, but their spirits continue to haunt this world. However, will the day come when even consciousness fade away?
長年死の相手をしていると、死を平然と捉えるようになる。けれど、他者の生き別れや死別を目にすれば、私とて悲しみ動揺する。私はそれを幾度となく経験してきた。
Those who spent many years in the proximity of death end up developing a certain indifference to it. Even so, they will feel sadness and unease when they witness those around them living this vale of tears. On my part, I have seen such things more than once. By the time Clotho was reawakened, her sisters has been reset, but before she could take in this news, she received a new assignment to undergo a military spec modification of her auditory and visual systems as fast as possible, and then proceed to the Laredo military sector. That's where the story happened, when she would assist the local forces in recovering corpses. After arriving at the military sector, Clotho took a long time to sort out her feelings and submit a request to Universal Anything Service to meet her sisters. However, the military sector fell during the war before Universal Anything Service HQ could process or grant it. Reports indicate that during the last hour before the local Oasis contingent pulled out of the Laredo residential district, they discovered an A doll belonging to a secret company project. Due to damage levels in excess of 79%, no concrete ID would be made by the branch supervisor. After considering the importance of this secret project, the doll was shipped back to its representative department along with the other equipment. The next month, Clotho and her auxiliary neural cloud HEL cleared the project neural cloud, the screening test, and were uploaded to Magra C.
私はまだここへ来た目的を忘れられずにいる。決して忘れることなどできない。探さなくては。彼女たちにもう一度会う方法を。
To this day, I still cannot forget the reason why I came here. I'll never ever forget. I'm here to seek them. To seek a way to reunite with them. Clotho did not make a good first impression in the Oasis with her ever-present coffin. Her habits of singing haunting songs at night, her enigmatic vocabulary during conversations, and so on. However, this initial perception changed after Kuro decided to secretly follow Clotho around for a ghost hunting livestream. So I'm so happy to see that Kuro actually here helping, where they saw the mysterious, frightening and aloof Clotho cling to Centaurus' arm like a little girl as they walked back to their dorm together. Kuro's stream ignited the Oasis' curiosity about Clotho. Hubble, who has always been interested in the occult, extended an invitation to Clotho for afternoon tea. An exclusive interview with Willow revealed that her neurocloud mental age was only 17. Right after that, Chelsea and Florence saw hell and declared that dark times were upon the Oasis. And when Clotho went out in search of hell in the middle of the night, she ended up scaring Max until the latter's neurocloud crashed. All this and more made Clotho start to realize how the Oasis was different from other places. Even without Centaurus, she would smile from time to time and even make the odd joke, slowly revealing a side of herself that was unlike her usual image. It's so cute.
教授、あなたは死を恐れる。私の前で死の話題を避ける必要なんてない。安心して本当の気持ちを言葉にしていい。
Professor, are you afraid of death? There's no need to be lazy when you speak with me about topics related to death. Relax and boldly state what you truly think. After Clotho became a friend to everyone, the dolls could more easily sense the feelings Clotho has for Centaurus. Soon, a saying began circulating through the Oasis. If you can't find Clotho, try consulting Centaurus' work schedule. Meanwhile, Centaurus had long since become used to Clotho's dependence on her. Persicaile noticed that Centaurus' work efficiency has improved further after Clotho joined the Oasis, and there were more logs of her coming and going from the residential area as well. Clotho began learning to make sweets from Choco after meeting the latter, and with her guidance, Choco produced a butterfly-shaped molten chocolate cake, which she gave to Centaurus on her birthday. That incident bothered Choco for quite a while. That's strange. Didn't she bake it until it went a little bitter? How come Centaurus seems to like it so much? Last voice.
なるほど。ある程度は理解した。その日が訪れたら、人間も人形も皆怪人に帰してしまう。そうなる前に、できる限り有意義なことをするべき。違う？
I think I understand now. For the most part, the day will come, whether human or doll, when our bodies are committed to the ground. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, until that day arrives. We ought to do as many meaningful things as possible. No? And with that, finish.
なんだよ。俺が喋るとは思わなかったってか？
And this is, by the way, Hell.
ニューラルクラウド。
And Hell, I did voice Hell differently, but nevertheless, that's it with Clotho. So we finally concluded everything regarding Clotho, and the next it will be Centauris here with her event going on. So thank you for watching, listening. I wish you a good day, night, afternoon, and see you on more Neuro Cloud.